Good afternoon, everyone. I will be given just 1 minute to allow you guys to come in before we start the business of the day. Okay, like I said 1 minute ago, I can see we've got quite a number of people on my attendees list. I guess I'll just take it up from here. Good afternoon once again and welcome. For those of you guys that are joining us for the first time, my name is Gagba Esaya, and I'm one of the training coordinators with the Temple Small Business Development Center. At the Temple Small Business Development Center helps small business start and grow. We offer free one-on-one consulting and a variety of low to low-cost webinars. We are proud to be part of the nationally accredited network of the Small Business Development Centers, which has over 1,000 networks across the United States. We're here this afternoon for a webinar on how to set an automated email campaigns. A copy of the PowerPoint and a link to the recording will be sent to all the attendees. Being a webinar, all the attendees have been muted. However, we always encourage you guys to drop your questions on the Q&A or the chat box. Without further ado, please allow me to welcome my wonderful speaker, even as he takes over the floor for the presentation. Mr. David, you're welcome.
Thank you, Garba. Always an honor and a pleasure to serve alongside you. Thank you for having me, and shout out to the Temple SBDC and all of you awesome leaders and entrepreneurs. If you could share in the chat box with me your name, I'll see that, but you can still put it, your name, where you're located, what you're looking to learn from today, or actually your business, and then what you're looking to learn from today. So your name, where you're located, what your business is, and what you're looking to learn today about email automation. So I'm going to turn on some light here. I am, well, that would work. There we go. This might make it better. I am actually in, you can see I'm repping a 10,000 Goldman Sachs 10,000 small business. Maybe some of you are a part of it, or some of you are down here in DC as well. I'm in DC for the event that we have going on, but I broke away so I can connect with you all. Okay, it says, can we enable chat? So Garba, it looks like the chat's not enabled.
Oh, okay, just give me 1 minute, please.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, we got a treat for y'all today when it comes to email marketing. So many things about email marketing, but we're just gonna kind of touch on a few foundational pieces before we get you set with automation. So we'll actually get into a little bit of copywriting, because how can I talk about email automation and not talk about copywriting and talk about the importance of it? So while we're getting that all set. All right, so I see it now. Keisha Huntley, Mellon Mechanical, welcome Keisha. And then again, just in the chat for those, you should be able to put it in the chat now, what your name is, what your business is, what you're looking to learn about email automation or email marketing in general. And then we'll dive into the information here. I won't spend too much time giving an introduction, since we have an hour, but I'll share, while you guys are introducing yourselves, I'll just share who I am, a little bit about myself. So my name is David D. Simons. I run a digital marketing agency that helps influential leaders and leading organizations dominate their market, leveraging Facebook advertising, LinkedIn marketing, and all sorts of different lead generation tactics online. I am passionate about digital marketing. When I'm not running my agency, I'm teaching in some fashion, like what we're doing now. I'm also an adjunct professor at Temple University, where I teach social media marketing. So this is fun to me. This is not work, and I'm excited for what we're going to go through today. And feel free to use me as resources. We have questions if you have questions and things of that nature. All right. So again, just for those that are just jumping in, normally I'm in an office setting or my home office or work office. So you might see some background here. You might see my wife pop in behind me here, where I'm at the MGM for the event here in DC for Goldman Sachs 10,000 small businesses. So just giving you that heads up. All right. So we got Ryan in the building. We got Christine from Porchlight Gifts. We got Eleanor Edwards, Nanny Match LLC. You're good. You're good. So I already told them about you, so you don't have to crawl down. Melissa, Millennium Connections LLC is a singles dating and education business. Really cool. Becca Phillips, businesses Water Street Sweets, allergy friendly bakery in Point Marion, PA. Very cool. Welcome. Tracy from All Things Philly, hoping to learn as much as possible on email automation. Excellent. Tom, quote countertops. Very cool. Beatrice, e-commerce consultant, Temple SBDC, seeking to assist SBDC clients with email marketing when this option could prove beneficial for their businesses. Awesome. Welcome, Beatrice. Christina Marquez, State College Conscious Love Yoga. Connect with students and potential clients. I love it. Brianna Kelsey, Philadelphia, PA. How to use it effectively. Ella Grow LLC. Good morning, photography. Maria's in photography. Vicky Spells. I'm gonna read a few more, and then we're gonna dive in. Okay. Vicky Spells, the Steam Room LLC, looking to learn new ways of marketing. Diane Johnson, Diane Online Books and Encouragement, very cool. Neil, Cloud TAAP or TAP, we are a virtual accounting firm. Awesome. Amanda, located at State College, PA as well, founder of Holy Moly Media. We've been building our email list and excited to learn more about email marketing. Nikisha, attractive email, interesting email subjects. Heather, independent publishing, hoping to add a stream to connect with readers. Superb. Irene, email automation to our nonprofit members at NDIA. And Diane, want to learn everything. You want it all. I respect that, Diane. And Becca says, a good service to use for marketing. Anything free? Yes, I have quite a few resources and tools that I'll be sharing with you all today. So let's see here. This is a chair. Let me lower this chair a little bit. There we go. All right. So one of the tools that I'm going to share, I'll show it to you when we get there. Right. So I'm going to start with some slides first, and then we're going to get into the actual platform that we're going to leverage here. So let me go ahead and share my screen, and then we'll dive in. Okay. All righty then. So if you, let me see here, let me close some of this other stuff. Usually, I was telling Garbara, I'm used to having two monitors, but you know, being away from home, I don't have my two monitors. All right, cool. Just trying to close that out. All right. So let me go ahead and start. And then what I want us to do here is take copious notes. I'll keep an eye on the chat as well for any questions as we go along here. All right. So we're going to talk about how to set up automated email campaigns. And so welcome. I shared a little bit about myself earlier. Oh, let me do that too. That reminder, shut off Slack so my team doesn't send me messages during our presentation. So that's going to be key. Let me exit here. Okay. Sorry, just a second. Let me stop share and then exit that. All right, that's done. All right. Okay. Now we're in business. All right. So when it comes to email marketing, I cannot talk about automated email. I don't care what automation you use. If you don't have good copywriting, it doesn't matter. Right. So I have to build a foundation. So pardon for those who already know about copywriting and all of that. I just think it's really important. Okay, so we're going to talk about, persuasion tactics. We're going to talk about some best practices. Actually, some of you mentioned this in the chat. We're talking about headlines and some things like that, the copy length, personalization. All these factor into conversion. What's the point of getting automation, having automated systems without getting someone to read it, right? I think that's agreed. Okay, so we want to. This is your homework, right? As I shared, I'm a professor. I love giving homework. I don't always love grading it, but I love giving it. So here's your homework. I'm not playing. Please buy this book, Influence. You can get the newest version, Psychology of Persuasion by Robert Cialdini. It's a classic on persuasion, the psychology of people. It's the best book, in my opinion, if you want to learn to be a great email marketer, in my opinion. So I make my students read this book. This is required reading to understand. I know there's all kinds of books on email marketing. I know there's all kinds of books on different subjects and different things, but I always believe in principles and teaching from a principle position. So I'm going to quickly cover these these tactics here that you can leverage and use. So this book, and there's a newer version, right? So get the newest version. In this book, he goes over the 6 weapons of influence and reciprocity. So this is like when you go to Costco and you get a sample, and then all of a sudden you had like 4 or 5, you meant to have 1, and you're like, you know what? I think I'm going to buy these chicken fingers, right? That's reciprocity in action. They gave you a little, and you feel like you need to return the favor. Or somebody says, have a good day. You too, automatically. You're already positioned to reciprocate. So we can leverage that in email marketing. I'll show you an example in a second. Commitment and consistency. So this kind of breaks down to, people like to do and keep a consistent routine. They like consistency. This is why it's good for your emails to have a specific cadence every week at a specific time, or every whatever your frequency is. Have a frequency. You want to make sure that like when people go to Starbucks, right? They have a loyalty card, loyalty programs. Why does that work? Because people love consistency. Deep in their bones, they love consistency. Consensus that most people, or you could say social proof. When people have similar experiences, positive experiences with your brand, and they see other people saying that, hey, this is a reputable brand because we such and such loves it. Like you see all these different testimonies and see all these different reviews, 5-star reviews. It helps with the brand. And so the same thing with email. We'll get into that. Affinity, credibility, right? So this is like people that are showing that they're likable. Like, why does Aflac have a duck? Right? Why do certain brands have a spokesperson? They want to create that likableness. Everybody does business with whom they know, like, and trust. So affinity draws somebody closer to you. Authority is showcases that you're the expert. You know what you're doing. You know what you're talking about. Whether you've been featured, you're best selling. Like in why do you see on Robert Cialdini's book, national bestseller? It's featured right on the front end of it. So you want to leverage those things. Scarcity is a powerful tool. We see it on Amazon all the time. Hey, only 1 left, only 2 left. Okay, so when it comes to email marketing, how do we put this into practice? You want to make sure that you're leveraging initially from the get-go to get people to enter into your system. Give them something for free in exchange for their email. So this is how you get people into your list. Give something of value, a guide, a resource, a checklist. I'll be giving one today just to show us an example. Let me just put it in the chat now before I forget. So some of you might already have it, but I just want to make sure you see the process. It is kingdomsocialmedia.com/toolkit. So I'm going to put that in the chat for everyone. And you can see the process. Very simple lead magnet, right? That you can give away in exchange for an email. Why? Because email is a powerful tool. It's something that people don't really change often. When's the last time somebody said, I'm going to, change my email? You might add a new email, but you still even check that old email. You might even get, I still know people, you don't have to raise your hand on this, but I still know people with the same 1995 AOL email, right? They still have the same email and they still check it. I actually have a client that has an AOL email he still uses. Why? There's power in it. It's personal. It's sacred. It has all your with the things that you're into, the things that you enjoy, right, are all loaded into that email. So yes, Lenore, there will be a recording that Garber will be sending out to you guys, and I believe the slides as well. Yep. So when you respond to email, when somebody gives you something for free, you're more likely to sign up for an email and push your real email because they want what you have that is valuable. So the one I shared is actually it's called a social media toolkit, and I give away like 40, 50 free tools that you can use to leverage on social media. Okay, so consensus, commitment, and consistency. So when you're consistent with your brand, you're consistent with your incentives, you're consistent with your process, you're going to have a better result because you're allowing people to see that, hey, we're a strong brand. It allows that, the same format. So if some of you subscribe to my emails, you'll see similar header most of the time, unless we're going to do an update, but a similar header, the same header all the time, same flow, same font. So even in your email, there's a branding focus that you should have. Okay. When it comes to consensus, this is you can include these kind of things into your email. Over 50 people just got it. Over 45-star reviews. People love case studies. They love reviews. They love other people's opinions. Before we just went to a restaurant last night. I looked up Yelp, found the one that was the top rated, and that's where we went. Right. So it's a very powerful tool, social proof. So you can leverage it in your emails. Hey, keep it in your email. Like if you have a great, like some of you small business owners have probably Google reviews, take a screenshot of your Google reviews, like showing your 5-star, 4-star, 4.5-star, whatever that is, and attach it in the signature of every email. What does that do? It's going to build, oh wow, oh look, they're highly rated, or they got great reviews. So leverage all you can when it comes to social proof. There's some things we're going to cover here, but we won't be able to get through everything in deep detail. But I want you to, when you go back over these slides, I want you to go back and look at these colors. I don't have my banner around me. Usually I have a banner that has my color scheme. So we use the colors blue, we use the colors green, and we use the color white. Blue is the color of trust. Why do banks like JP Morgan Chase use it? Why do a lot of big data companies like Facebook and Twitter use the color blue? It's a color of trust, right? Green is the color of growth, peacefulness, health, things of that nature. So a lot of brands, health brands, Whole Foods and Tropicana and John Deere, all these kind of brands use green. So there's a psychology to the very colors that you use. Okay, so I'm gonna pick up the pace here because I want to get to the automation stuff, but I have to go through this stuff. I can't gloss over this. So authority is leveraging a well-known brand, a recognized expert. So some of you have maybe clientele that is well-known, or you have credentials that are highly can be highly leveraged. You're a best-selling author. Maybe you have certain credentials. Maybe your certifications, and leverage everything you have in your best interest. It's in your best interest for your marketing, right? The other thing is scarcity. Scarcity is powerful. People are more moved by the fear of loss than they are moved with the desire of gain. So they're like, well, man, what am I missing out? Like, Like, I don't want to miss out on a deal. I don't want to miss out on information. I don't want to miss out on opportunity. So leverage that to your the best of your ability. So whether that's an offer that you have, a product that you have, um, something that can be leveraged, the amount of, like, hey, there's only 10 left of this, and but here's the thing, don't use false scarcity. Use scarcity, but use it in a right way, meaning that, like, it's real. Like, we're limiting it to 10 people. We only have 20 slots, whatever that is, leverage that. I like for copy, this is a little checklist you can use when you're creating the content to put into your email. We use this thing called Krebs methodology: chunking, relevance, accuracy, brevity, scannability. So this is what you do before any email. After you've written your email, or while you're writing your email and your marketing copy, you use this to make sure, did I chunk the information into, if it's a longer email, did I chunk the information? Is it relevant to my audience? Relevance is very important. Is it accurate? Is my information accurate? Is my data accurate? Is it brief and to the point? Can I cut out words where I don't need to? And can somebody scan it? Why is this important? Scannability is important because that's how most people read emails. We don't read every line word for word, especially if we're busy, right? We just scan it. What is this? All right, cool. And then that's that. Subject line. Somebody talked about subject lines earlier. And I think it's really important. This is why, again, I go through this part, because of we can't get anybody to an automation if we don't have a good subject line, right? So subject line is what you use to get people to even open that email. That's 41% of the reason why people even open an email is because of a subject line. So I want to show you all something real quick. Let me see if I can. My thing is not exiting like it normally does. All right, so I have to stop share and then fix this. All right, so 1 second. I'm gonna pull up, because somebody asked about it. So so I do ask for a purpose when I ask you guys for your feedback and stuff in the chat. Okay. All right. So let me pull this up for you. I'm gonna pull up something that you can all use for headlines. Okay. Let me share my screen again. I may have shared this on a previous session before. Okay. So, and I would like a volunteer very quickly to give me a topic, whatever topic you want for your business, but whoever's first. Okay. Put in the chat a topic, whoever wants to put it in. Just give me any topic related to your business. Dating. Perfect. Thank you, Melissa. Melissa was first on the gun there. So we're going to use the verb dating, and just know in advance that not all of these are going to make sense. You're going to kind of finagle the tool a little bit. Okay. It's my secret weapon for ideas when I'm trying to get, okay. So let me see. No, let me use, so since we're using dating, I'm going to use it in the tense of date. Okay. So here we go. Failures make you, okay. 5 facts about business that will help you date. Right. That doesn't work for business. Here are 5 ways to date. Here are 5 ways to date better. Imagine you date like an expert. You get what I'm saying. No wonder she said no. Learn how to date persuasively in 5 easy steps. That's a great headline, right? Like, if you saw that, you'd be pretty moved to check and be compelled to check this out, right? Can you date like a true champ? You get my picture here. How not to date, how to date and influence people, how to date like a professional. So all these things, all these, like, you have all this stuff, and then 5 reasons in your business. So this is the ing on it. Okay. So you can literally copy all these different things, and you will have an amazing resource to help you pull a title that will convince people to open. Okay. Yes, Tom, we'll definitely get to that. We'll definitely get to that. Absolutely. You're spot on. So we're going to get to that. Okay. So you got a tool that you can leverage. Just wanted to show you that. Okay. So subject lines are really important. There's some other things that I want to highlight too that are really key. There's different types of things that you can do that will help people. Like kind of questions, right? Loss aversion, tying it into an event, right? Like you probably saw when the Will Smith slap happened, you probably saw a bunch of emails, or you probably saw a bunch of ads. People tie into to events that are happening around the world. People are probably thinking about recession right now. If there's something that your business does that ties into that, here's a recession-proof way to do X. Think about what's relevant to people. Personalization, using their first name into your emails. You also want to have a identifiable from address. So it's better. It's shown better that it converts better when you have a name. Like instead of Kingdom Social Media, I could do Kingdom Social Media. What I like to do is David of Kingdom Social Media, right? You can put both, like put your resource of your brand or your business tied in with your personal name, or use a personal name. It's more personal. It allows people to connect better. So leverage that. Lucy@laterrooms.com, right? Whatever your business is. Okay. So that's a really key piece. You want to make sure your pre-header is good. Your pre-header is the content that people can read without reading. So this is what's going to help them also decide. This is a good percentage of why they'll even open the email. Most email tools will allow you to see what's in the, what to write in your pre-header. And this is, again, you want to spend some time. So if I had to write an email, I'd spend majority of my time writing the headline and the pre-header, and then the rest of it writing the email. I know that's crazy, but a lot of people will work on the email instead of working on the pre-header and header. They spend so much time on the context, but they don't really get the marketing piece of it right. So that's really important. Scannability is making sure your email copy is short. You're avoiding long paragraphs and long sentences. You're breaking up text and emphasizing the key pieces of copy and using bold fonts and bullet points and things of that nature. And you're leaving white space for people to just make it easier for them to read. Okay, so for when you're creating copy, there's no real ideal length, but short copy can kind of create some urgency. The long copy can explain your benefits and overcome objections, and then people will read it if it's relevant to them. So you want to test different things. So what it all boils down to, you do want to test. When it comes to your email, you want to make sure you have clear calls to action. So the CTA, so that's what a call to action is. Make it really clear. Download this guide. And I know sometimes it seems redundant, but you got to do the redundant. Make it, even though it's obvious, there's a button here. Like just tell people, click here, order now, read here. Like always include the call to action. Don't ever just assume they know what to do. They know to click the link. Always add the clear call to action into the email, right? You can use hyperlinks in your email, right? That makes it work better. You can use buttons. I like buttons. Sometimes I do a combination of both, because maybe there's button people and there's hyperlink people. So have your, if you have a product, put the link to your product, put the link to your page, put the link to it as well. Personalization, as I talked about, is really effective. It's really important. Hey, Nikisha, here's our top 10 ways to grow your company, right? You get to do that. So, okay, I see Lenore's question about utilizing hyperlinks to push SEO keywords. So, well, when you think about SEO, right? So what are you doing? You want to get an SEO, search engine optimization. You want to get more traffic. You want to get more more people to that page, right? So one of the things it does is by having the hyperlink inside of your email, you're putting your keywords into your into your page itself. You're putting your keywords into your so it's not really essentially like gonna improve your SEO specifically from your email. It's just going to help increase your SEO overall, right? By having the hyperlink in there in your email. I like to also make sure you're tracking all of these things. So you got to get a good email system that tracks it. So where did the links go? Link people to your landing page or a specific specific page that you want people to know. These are all some great questions. I promise I'm going to get to those. Okay, so I'm going to come back and get to yours, Rich. So personalization is really important. You want to make sure that you put your first name in there and have a contingency if you don't have their first name. So here's some ad copy formulas. Normally I like to go through this. I'm not going to spend time on this. I just want you to write these down, right? The sick of formula: sick of working a job you hate, tired of sitting in traffic every morning, sick of being late on your bills. Then you counteract with some kind of headline or title, right? So I just want to share a few that we use that work really well. See why such and such said. See why Oprah recommends this for her. See why Larry Page, and then connect this back to your business. See why such and such cybersecurity expert says this is what you need to do, and then make sure it ties back to your business, right? See why such and such said this kind of HVAC system is the best, whatever it is, right? So you want to make sure you leverage. This is a influencer standpoint. Stop doing X, start doing X. That's a powerful one, right? Stop doing the task you hate, start hiring a virtual assistant. Stop studying, start doing X, start doing whatever it is. You want to think about formulas. This is a great one for your ebooks. Need, more leads. Want, need more leads. Get our lead generation ebook. Want, need more clarity. Get our clarity content calendar. Whatever it is. These are just formulas for you to leverage. And like I said, normally I like to go through some together, but I don't want to spend too much time on that because we got to get into the automation. All right, so I'm just tracking on time. How are we doing? Okay, cool. So some methods of customer acquisition, right? We talked about this one: white papers, guides, resources, checklists, things that you can give away for free. Rented lists. I don't like them the best, but these are lists that you can get from other people that give you access content. I'm not a big fan of that. Newsletters, right? I obviously have a newsletter, getting people to forward it, creating specific segments for different offers, different personas, online tools and calculators. Those are cool. Quizzes, things like that. People love quizzes. That's a great way to gather leads. Content marketing, and then lead them back to your website. Offline capture forms, from a trade show or networking event. Social media, of course. These are all great tools that you can use. One of my favorite is webinars, right? Like what we're doing now. Webinar is a great place to build a list, right? You're training on something and you're building a community. App signups, giveaways, free trials. So if you have something like Patreon, that's a good link to your email signatures, right? Add a link to your, hey, subscribe to our email here. Guest blogs for my e-commerce people, abandoned carts. Those are always great. So something you got to pay attention to. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. GDPR is a regulation in the European Union law, and this this is for data protection. And pretty much since we live in a global village, you want to make sure you have this set in your email. Make sure you have this on your site. There's some keywords you can put on there. Again, you'll have the slides to go over this in more detail. I just need to make sure I mention this to you. I want to make sure your foundation is set. So for those that have business, that do business outside of the US, you have all these pieces. Okay. Cool. So this is all the stuff you need to make sure. A defined opt-in. When you opt in, make sure your data is not combined. I know it's crazy. Separate the opt-ins. Make sure you have a consent or allow for people to have the cookies on your site and things that you'll be able to look through. Okay. So all of that will be there. So now we're going to get into the more of the automation here. So when it comes to automation, you want to make sure that you are, actually, let me get back to a statement / question from Tom. For B2C versus B2B email automations. So the truth is, I know it's going to sound crazy, but B2C, B2B, we're all H to H, human to human, right? So still speak to the human of everyone. That's the model that I believe. I consider my company more B2B than B2C, but we still leverage the human side. We speak to the human side. And you're absolutely right. Plain text performs better than designed emails. We don't do much design. The only design I do is pretty much the header, just to keep that consistent. And some brands don't even do that. You get a better open rate from not putting a bunch of graphics and things into your emails. So good point, Tom. That's spot on. So when it comes to email, the more you ask for opt-in, the less you're going to have in conversion. So basically increase the value of what you're going to offer to get people in, and then don't ask for too many things. Some people will ask for name, email, address, social security. No, but they'll ask for too many things. So don't do that in your email opt-in forms, right? Keep it pretty vanilla. Okay, like this is too much right here. See here, name, email, website, manager role. Typically it's too much, right? You can get a lot of this data later, but for some businesses, hey, you specifically want to weed out people. That's perfectly fine. Okay, so these are all more techniques. I'm not going to go over all these, right? These are all these different types of emails from a B2B, B2C standpoint. Some of these things are different, right? For your conversions, all these things. So I want you to go through those, okay? So one of the things you want to make sure is that you have your list management process. So you define what lists are segmented to what. So when I say list segmentation is, if in my company, right, we have lists for people that could be potential students of some of the things and want to learn. Then we have lists for people that need the services that we provide. So these are usually the CEOs, or the coaches, the consultants, speakers. That's a specific segment for that. So you break down segments to whatever the content you're going to share with them, and make sure not to share information for the wrong segments, right? You don't, for example, I have a client that they have students is one segment. Then the parents is another segment. So we got to speak to the parent differently than we speak to the student. So we have to know all of those things. We have to be careful when it comes to the data. Okay. So when we bring people into an automated sequence, you want to make sure when you're automated, then we're going to start simple and we're going to get a little more advanced here as we go. You want to have a welcome email, right? And add and let them know to add their email to your address book. A lot of times, a lot of people's emails are going to their spam, or like in Gmail, they're going to their other box. If you're not letting them know, whitelist my email so you can receive all my emails. So you can create a video, you can create a little tutorial. This is how you do that. Let them know how often you're going to send them emails. Let them know the frequency. Let them know the content, and remind them why they subscribed. Okay, so that's going to be very, very key. So I want to now tackle regarding Rich question regarding government email. Yeah, government's tricky. I've seen it where government's tricky. The honest truth is I don't know necessarily of a way to get around it. I do know you definitely want to stay away. I do know some things. You want to stay away from link shorteners. I do know that. Stay away from link shorteners. If you can, if you know you're sending to government, then yeah, maybe don't hyperlink. Maybe just keep it a straight to the link, even if it's long. That's one of the things I would probably do. To Lenora's question, I want to have my subscribers self segment. Is it best to have have different email sign up forms? Two, have email list opt-ins or opt-outs in first welcome email. So, great question, Lenore. I would say there's a way you can build into some of the systems. So the one we use for a lot of opt-in stuff now is called Opt-in Monster. I'll put that in the chat. It's a really cool Opt-in Monster, and then they can self-select, and this is to add on to your existing email system. What you'll do here is you'll have multiple areas where they can, let's say, I don't know, you work with artists, and then you work with architects, and you work with construction builders. Hey, which one are you? And then allow them to pick, self-select, and then have them connect to different connect to different, you have them segment to a different thing. So yes, I would probably have it on one, and then they self-segment is probably what I would do if I had the two options. It's better to do it from the very gate. Okay. Cool. So I'm gonna come back to you guys. You got some other great questions and thoughts here. So I just want to make sure we get into some other pieces. So just expect this, that some of your list is not going to open their emails. Remove the hard bounces, remove the reoccurring soft bounces. You're going to have some people that are just not interested anymore, and just don't be offended. Just delete. It's better to have a list that opens a better engagement open rate than to just keep them on the list. You also want to build re-engagement campaigns. Hey, we haven't heard from you a while. Hey, do you want us even trigger it? Do you want us to let you go because we haven't heard from you? They haven't had any emails from responses from you or opens from you. If you'd like to leave the list, let us know. We'll unsubscribe you. Right. So ensure the quality. You can do that. You want to focus on list quality. Quality is key above everything. The number that you have of emails, it's vanity unless the real thing you want to focus on is how many people are opening your regular emails, and how many of them are clicking on your emails, and how many of them are purchasing your offers and scheduling calls and actually following through. That's more important. So here's some things just to be mindful of to follow all of those pieces, right? So, you want to make sure that you set those objectives for your list. So these are some more things for quality level. I'm going to skip some of this. I want you to just do this for homework, right? I gave you a lot of stuff in here. I wanted to build the foundation for anyone that's new to email, so they have the pieces they need. And then also for those who are more advanced, you'll also have the pieces you need. All right. So, make sure you build the quality. All these things will help you with ensuring your quality. All of those things. So now let's get into some automation. All right. So let's break it down. What is marketing automation? When you break it down, it's the means of employing technology to continuously execute your marketing strategy. The process can help with as little or as much human interaction as you like. So with the right technology, your process goes from one-to-one to one-to-many, right? Now, think about this. This is like our automation, an example of automation, right? This is the checkout process that we've all gotten used to. I'll just be honest with you. I actually prefer to still stand in line unless I'm in a crunch and talk to somebody. I just love people, right? So that's my personal preference. But this is the new automation where you have a self-checkout system. So one cashier can oversee multiple stations. It's the same with email automation. This is just the way to look at this whole thing. Okay. So now what does marketing automation do? It can improve customer retention. You can use it for SMART goals. You can use it for lead scoring. So scoring a specific lead, right? Allowing the lead to be, is this a person that's more likely to do business? Your system can do this. And I'm going to suggest some systems that you can use. This will help you to determine which will lead to will lead to an automation or a specific result. You use the data to see how many people are engaged and subscribed and connected. You can see this little chart here. You can go through things where people can fill out a form, then it can add a tag, then it sends an email if they're added with that tag. You can wait for 2 days and they click on this and it goes to this or it goes to that. You can have processes and automation systems that do a lot of the hard work and heavy lifting. Those are some pieces here. So these are some things that you can use to score. So scoring essentially just rates them as a higher potential fit for your business. So hey, if they open a certain amount of emails or a percentage of emails, if they click on multiple links, if they reply to emails, if they forward emails, you can track all of this data and use that to score someone because of them being at a higher scoring rate within your system. Okay, so here's one simple automation that I have for maybe some of you have seen this. Thank you for subscribing. And if you got the toolkit, then you'll go through this process, right? So this is also the reason why, if you saw earlier, I put a link for those who maybe joined in later. I gave a link here to where you can get my toolkit for free, right? So you can download it and see the same process. So you can study the process literally as I do it as an example. Okay, I can't talk to you about something I can't do myself, right? So let me actually take you in, right? Let me answer a few questions, and then I'm actually going to take you inside an automation sequence. Okay, how about that, right? We're going to do some actual factual. Just checking the time. All right. Let me see here. Let's do this. Let me exit. Let me just do it this way. Here we go. All right. So I had this ready for you guys. So I'm showing you, this one is not one I actively use as much, but I'll tell you what I use. I use a system called Active Campaign. I love Active Campaign because I think it's one of the best automation platforms for a reasonable cost. Okay, so I mentioned I would give you some tools that are free too. MailChimp is a great place to start. They give you free 2,000 contacts, so you don't have to pay for anything until you get to 2,000 contacts. Mind you, they are free, so you're not going to get the best automation at the free version. Okay, you might have to pay for a little bit for some of these automation features. So here we go. Here's a simple automation, right? So I'm inside of my account. So if somebody subscribes to a list, okay, I've got all kinds of lists here. Let's just say this is my toolkit list. And I'm not going to turn this automation on. So you see this here? This is more segmenting. We talked about some of these things. So I can segment by the actions. I can segment by, when actions, right? So if this person has opened, this is, hey, I want to get all the people that are open. I want to put them in a specific list. I can do that. If I want to segment all the people by, e-commerce, right? For my e-commerce people, you can do last order. The options are endless. It feels like site and event detail was, referred from a certain site, deal detail, date and time, account detail, URLs, countries. It's out of this world, right? So this is more advanced, but I'm going to just go here. Okay. So again, I'm using Active Campaign. Some of you might not have, your system might not look like this, but it kind of just gives you a flow of what is going to happen. Then the next thing is I go to this right here. I send a welcome email. So I'm going to just take you inside to this, right? This is an intro. Thanks for leaving me. So first name. So everything I talked about before, we're going to use all those philosophies here. Hey, first name. Thanks for leaving your, I'm not going to read the whole email. Thanks for leaving with your email and going after what you want here. I'm about to share with you a proven approach to maximize Facebook and create more income. So this is a email sequence I have for one of my courses from a while back called 1,000 Facebook fans in 60 days. So then I leverage a testimonial, remember, social proof. So you see how it's all adding together. Tremendously helped me with my Facebook audience. Using one of his strategies, I was able to grow my Facebook fans, blah, 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 blah. Right. Then there's content and copy. Remember that I talked about copy, chunking, all those things, right? We break it down, all of those pieces. Scannable. This is long, but I'm putting some objections here because there's a sale towards the end of this. A whole process, but the first email is not engaged to sell, right? So I have a very powerful tool, but only if you're willing to give it a try. And then I give free content right here. Okay. So, and I share some results and things of that nature. So they get to see some content. That's the first part of the flow. Okay. So let me exit out of that. I want to show you, I'm not going to go through all the emails, but I want to show you this is how email automation can work. So I have my introductory email. Then my next email is you see this, I wait for 2 days. So let me show you how I do that within Active Campaign. I can do conditions and workflow, wait, and then I give a specific period of time, 2 days, like I did in this case, right? Or let's say I want to do something else. I want to split, even split. I can split the contacts. I want to go to, I have my goals. Remember I talked about goals earlier. And my goal is to, okay, so make me, when the goal is, wait until specific conditions. I'm looking for a specific condition. I don't have it listed in here. Okay. I can connect with contacts when subscribing, add a tag. Remember, say I wanted to add a tag, remember tag course, right? Let's say, okay, Facebook, let's just say that for now. So this is my tag. I want to tag people if they go through this process, right? So now I can tag automatically, and then my tags can do something else. Okay. I just want, again, I want you to get to the flow and see this process in action and just see kind of some of the things. Add a custom audience. How about that? Look at that. I can add people to a Facebook custom audience. That's a whole nother conversation to a whole nother day. But I can do that. I can also have a built-in process where I unsubscribe them if they are not open after 4 emails. Or hey, the CRM side, if I want to add a deal, this is for my B2B people. This is for if you're using a CRM. This is why I like Active Campaign, because it can be for a CRM side. You can add a deal score, you can add update status, deals, conditions, all kinds of cool stuff. Notification emails, text messages. We can do a whole seminar in just all of the stuff, like a whole week seminar just on all this stuff, right? So the next email goes to another this one, right? So I'm just sharing you something that I have as a sample one, right? It's not the only process. There's plenty of processes you can use for automation. Hey, you're motivated, blah blah blah. Ever have that happen? Hey, now I present the I give you some great information. Please, you can get my clients doing. You can too, right? This is just showing them the next step in this specific process. And this, I think this series is a 6 or 7 part email sequence. So so where were we at? Video. Then this is another one here. Let me just read one more, and then I'll get back to the slides here. So then I break down more stuff. I'm handling objections. This email is handling objections, handling problems, and then all the things that they need when it comes to Facebook. Okay, so I give a whole entire process. So I want you to just see the whole process from the top. So they subscribe to a list, then they get this sequence. Actually, let me take this off because I don't want people to see this. Oops. I don't really want, I was just using this for a purpose to show you guys. I don't want this trigger on there. All right. Cool. So there's a sequence, another sequence. Here's where some more objections. Wait for a couple of days. Send a Facebook grab. Here's another gift. Send it, big mistakes. And again, psychology, breaking all the psychology. Send an email, sabotage. So that's where this sequence ends, right? This sequence goes on for 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 days or 12 days. 12 days of this in this process, and they're getting the emails throughout the process. Okay. So let me get to some questions because I know we're running out of time here. We've started sending a newsletter, we've started sending a newsletter with info versus offer kind of a thought leader strategy. I like that, Rich. And webinars are a great way to do that, especially if you're on the B2B side. Webinars will be a great opportunity for you. Hey, join our webinar or create an automated webinar sequence and then allow them to come into that. Yes, from a thought leader perspective, those things are always great. I don't know if your goal or for your business is to send people to a call. That's always a great to schedule a call. Christina, what could be a best practice to keep the list updated? I think a best practice for keeping your list updated is, like I kind of shared it a little bit, you can build in automated sequences depending on your software that automatically clean the list if they don't open after a certain amount of times. If there's any hard bounces, you can have that automated so that gets removed. Those are best practices. And then I like to do a clean out every 3 months or so. So just do some cleaning, manual cleaning if you need to. You can do that. And then also, I think best practice to keep a list up to date too is sending content weekly is definitely a good idea. For warming up email, yes, Tom, suggestions for email warming. What I like to do is just have a series of emails that are just pure content. Create a series of emails, like a series, and then put it like one of one. So I don't remember what space you're in, Tom. But let's just say you are sending an email. Okay, you're in quote countertops. So you're sending something about countertops week 1, and usually share problems, right? So I'm gonna over the next few emails, we're gonna send you the 7 things that people do wrong with countertops, and then issue 1, and then one of one, right? Email 1 of 1. This issue for the countertop. Next email 2 of 2. So you even label it for them to see. Hey, this is the second email. This is the third email. This is email number 4. This is 5. This is 6. This is 7. Then now we hit them with the offer, right? You've added value on top of value on top of value. Okay, so that's one of the things you could do. Okay, you sell software solutions to countertop providers. Okay, so same thing from a software standpoint. This is why your tool or why your problem with this is what's stopping you from utilizing it, your countertop solution. You need a software to do this, or you need a software to do that. Still the same philosophy. Share the mistakes that they're making, that your software actually has a solution for, and I would send that for like 6 to 7. So just a psychological thing for cold audiences, you want to share mistakes. For warmer audiences, you want to share solutions. Why? Because they don't know you yet, right? So cold audiences, you always share the problems and the mistakes that they're doing wrong, and warm audiences, you share the value that you already have. Yes. So Lenore, this is both an email and a CRM. So is this CRM the only tool you need for your business? So it's not the only tool, because for me, I'm a tool junkie. I got all kinds of tools in my tool belt. But for most people, this is perfectly fine. Having this email for their management and their CRM. I use quite a few different things, but I love ActiveCampaign, so I always recommend it. I tried to get as much done in the time that we have, with also setting some foundation. So I just want to show in the slides. So all the stuff we went through, right? We went through these examples are there. There's another example in here of an idea of a footer or a process that you could use for your automation, and then some more scoring behaviors. And then at the end, I show an advanced process including how you would leverage Facebook and how you would leverage retargeting. This is literally a process you can follow. It is more intense. I just want to know. I told you we're going to start with the full easy all the way to advanced. So you got all the tools you need to take a look. If you have questions, I'm here. All right.
Quick one on David before we wrap it up. I can see we're left with just 2 minutes. I just wanted to draw the attention of our wonderful attendees. I did posted a 30-second survey about today's webinar. I'll just go ahead and post it for like the 3rd time. Remember, we at Temple SPDC, we always cherish your feedbacks, even as it helps us and providing the services we provide to you guys at a low cost. So kindly take 30 seconds of your time to help us and fill it out. So I will continue, please.
Yes, y'all have been awesome. Hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully you get some questions answered and gain some value from today's information. And Lenore, yes, you can. I mean, ideally, you know, especially if you're building a team, you do want to keep everything in one place. But I like to use email marketing, Active Campaign for my email marketing. And then we use another tool for sales stuff that we keep that in. So our sales team can have access that too. So I just keep them separate, but you can use more than one CRM, but just be mindful of as you're growing or as you have multiple people, you want to have a system that everybody can see access and access data. No problem, Heather, Christine, Laura, Carrie, Maria, Tom. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming.
Okay. I can see it is 1 p.m. But before we wrap it up, I just want to use this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for keeping it a day with us. Mr. David, thank you for a wonderful presentation. You know, whenever you come up on board, it's always bomb, and I always enjoy your presentation. Before I wrap it up, I also want to thank my wonderful Temple SPDC colleague for the usual cooperation and support. Without them, we wouldn't have been here, and the webinar wouldn't have even come into existence. Thank you, and do enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you guys. Have a good one.